This is a frank and brutal description of our educational system. We're down 165 classrooms. Children are not able to really study properly kasi kulang talaga tayo ng classrooms. Our connectivity, our schools still aren't connected. Yung curriculum, ang raming issues with the curriculum. Hey Eiyo!
Welcome to the Hey Eiyo podcast, where I yap about whatever I want with whoever I want. Enjoy! Hey everybody, welcome to the Hey Eiyo podcast. My name is Eiyo Aquino, and today we have a very special guest for you. But before we dive in, I just want to address something. So I filmed this episode, the interview you are about to see, on August 6th at around 1 p.m. 1 p.m. was the interview at mga 2 something, and then afterwards, nag-vote yung Senate or nag-convene yung Senate, and they voted to archive the case of Vice President Sara Duterte. They voted to archive her impeachment case. I am currently filming this on the evening of August 6th. So we're not really going to be talking about impeachment in this interview since nangyari yung interview before the vote. But I want to link to you guys yung more extensive commentary ko about impeachment here. And you can also find it in the comments. Okay, so without further ado, we have a very special guest. He is a sitting senator. I already mentioned his name earlier. And he needs no introduction, but sige nga, I'll tell you. He was he's newly elected senator in the last May 2025 election. And he ranked number 2 with almost 21 million votes, 20.9 exactly. And he was elected, I believe, because he was an achiever when he was a senator back then in his first term, noong 2013 to 2019. One of his landmark legislations was yung Batas para sa Libreng Kolehiyo, which he attributes as one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people voted for him. A lot of people trusted him na may track record na siya. O sige, let's keep him in government. So without further ado, I don't want to delay. Let's have the Honorable Senator, the new chairman of the Senate Basic Education and Science and Technology Committees, and my favorite tito, Senator Bam Aquino.
Hello, Tito.
Hello.
The great and honorable Senator Bam Aquino.
I'm not sure if those two, kung pasok yung great or honorable, di ba? Just your favorite uncle. Okay na ako doon.
Yes, my favorite. Hello, thank you so much. Thank you for being on the podcast. This is a very special episode because we're filming this here in the Senate. And we're filming this in your new office here.
Yes.
As you just started last June 30th.
Yes.
Right. And
so, the term started noon time of June 30.
Okay.
Pero itong opisinang to, just last Monday, actually.
Okay.
So, this is a 3-day-old office. Welcome to our new office. We hope to pass many laws in this office.
It's an honor to be here. It's in its infancy, and parang mukhang new siya talaga, and it's so clean, and then all the lighting is so fresh. Well, I mean, how did you think of designing this? I mean, did you start as soon as you started?
The girlfriend of one of your cousins, si Simon, si Blanche volunteered, so she made the layout.
Okay.
We tried to make it as welcoming as possible. And it's a place of work, pero at the same time it's comfortable.
Okay.
And we hope that maraming spaces kung saan pwede mag-usap-usap yung mga tao para we can collaborate on doing the best reforms for our people, di ba?
Ayos. And you also just got 2 committee chairmanship positions,
yes.
No? You are the chairman of the Basic Education Committee. Congratulations on that. I hear that's a very tough endeavor.
It's a tough committee. It's also, honestly, one of the most important committees in the Senate.
Yes.
So, it's a big challenge, pero tayo naman, dyan tayo, di ba? Kung saan yung challenge, dun tayo. Kung saan yung mga kailangan na reforma, dun tayo pumapasok.
Yes.
So, both the Education Committee and Science and Technology,
Yes.
those were also my committees in the first term.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I also had those committees in the first term ko. But then, yung Education Committee was both basic and higher ed.
Okay.
Hindi pa siya na-split.
Oo.
It was split a few years after I left.
Okay.
And then yung Science and Technology, I also had that committee before, and now I have the committee again. So we're hoping, much like before where we were able to pass the free college law, no, we're hoping we can pass major reforms again with these two committees.
Oh yes, and I want to get into the nitty-gritties of those reforms later on. And I also want to congratulate you. You just got the committee on science and technology like a few days ago, no?
Yes.
Congratulations on that. So, given all of these, all of these movements happening in your life, how are you?
I'm so excited. Honestly, we're excited to do the work. Every day, I wake up and I'm excited to do the work, no? Ang pinaka-problema ko yung traffic kasi as you know, we live in QC. And parang isang oras papunta dito, 2 oras pa uwi. So, Monday to Wednesday ang session. That's when, of course, you have to be here.
Yes.
And I'm clocking siguro 8 to 9 hours of traffic in those 3 days.
Okay.
So medyo excited talaga siya kasi way back in 2013 to 2019, it was about 45 minutes to go here from Quezon City.
Okay.
Maybe 1 hour. No? Ngayon, kung maka 1 hour 30 ka pa uwi, medyo swerte ka na.
Wow.
Yeah. So doon ako medyo naninibago na ang haba ng oras mo sa sasakyan. And in my case, I'm trying to be productive. So maybe sabi ko nga, baka doon kami mag-meeting, no, doon sa sasakyan. Kasi sayang oras di ba?
True, I agree.
So, we're adjusting to that.
Okay.
It's interesting kasi when I got in last week,
Yes.
which was the opening of Senate, no? Parang surreal. Kasi you know everyone, like the sergeant at arms, yung mga guards, yung mga pages, the receptionists
From few
before.
years ago, 6 years ago. Wow.
They're the same.
Oh,
Kaya lang,
okay.
medyo maputi na konti yung buhok na, or medyo pumayat na ng konti. Kasi sabi ko, pumayat ka, may diabetes na po ako di ba? So, people are getting a little older, and they're changing a little bit, but more or less, parang things feel the same.
Okay.
But then ikaw mismo, you've also changed. I've changed from then, no? I mean, from the first term, I was the youngest in my first term. I was 36. Just turned 36 in 2013.
Okay.
So, medyo iba rin yun. Iba yung dynamic mo as the youngest senator.
Yes.
At that time, we had people like Miriam and Serge Osmeña and Frank Drilon.
Yes.
Of course, Tito Soto. Enrile. Senator Enrile was also there. So, you had that layer of more senior senators, di ba? I remember nung first term ko, ako yung youngest at 36, and I think si JPE was 90 something at that time. So our age range was about 50 to 60 years.
It's a very diverse Senate.
Ito, iba. Kasi I'm coming in, I'm not a neophyte anymore. In
Yes.
fact, I'm just the third youngest na lang now. Hindi na ako youngest, di ba? But I'm also a returning senator. So medyo iba rin ng konti, no? You're a little bit older.
Yes.
A little bit, I'd like to think, wiser.
Yes.
May battle scars ka na kasi natalo ka noong 2019, natalo si VP Lenny in 2022. So medyo mas may grit ka ng konti. You're a little bit different, 'di ba? You've gone through different things. But honestly, I'm just really excited to be here and to start working on the reforms.
I'm really excited for you. I mean, you seem very energized now. Parang 6 years of, rest and, finding time for yourself, no?
Ano ba? Sabi nga nila the dark years, di ba?
The dark years.
No, it's interesting kasi, in 2019, so of course you helped me. Iyo pala po is one of my best campaigners out there. 2 thumbs up. So in 2019, talo, di ba? I didn't expect to lose in 2019. In fact, we were doing well in the surveys. Pasok naman. On election day, laglag ka, di ba? And I lost by a small margin.
How many votes was that? 300? 200,000?
200,000 votes. 0.2%.
Holy cow!
So talagang napakaliit lang. We didn't really expect to lose, but you lost, di ba?
Okay.
So move on na with your life. Nag-prepare na kami. I had another office. And then, after a few months, wala pang isang taon, nag-pandemic. Di ba? And during the pandemic, parang for many of us na wala naman sa posisyon, parang time kinda stopped kasi hindi ka pwede lumabas ng bahay, di ba? So, it was such a different time to go from the elections to the pandemic. And then, nung tail end of the pandemic, nag-start na yung moves for 2022.
Oo.
And of course, being campaign manager for VP Lenny was a whole other challenge.
Yes.
Learning from that campaign, that heartbreaking campaign, learning from it, but at the same time, not losing hope. In fact, ako nga, a lot of people said that they lost hope after the 2022 campaign.
Yes.
Diba?
Oo.
Pero ako hindi. I was actually a little bit more hopeful kasi nung 2019, the last time I ran for the Senate, talagang tahimik yung mga tao.
Yes.
That was the height of the Duterte administration. People were really afraid to come out and support, no? In 2022, the opposite. Nakita natin, ang raming taong lumabas.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Ang raming volunteers and parang yung takot sa mga tao parang nawala,
Oo
di ba?
nga, I
So,
remember that.
to see 2022 from the lens of 2019, parang you felt may hope talaga, no?
Oo.
Meron talaga, we can really build on something and really take this forward. And in 2025, as you know, we began talagang napakababa natin, no?
24? 22?
24 to 32. 1 year before. So, May 2024, 24 to 32 tayo.
Wow.
Diba? So, starting at that place and then going through the campaign and slowly seeing the support come out, di ba? Kasi marami sa mga supporters rin ni Ma'am Lenny, parang noong una heartbroken. Kumbaga na-heartbroken na ayaw na magmahal muli, di ba? So, it took time for people to actually join the campaign or even volunteer. Of course, young people were there from the beginning. And I know you campaigned with a lot of youth, no, for me.
Yes.
So, nandun na sila. October pa lang. Di ba? Naka-ready na. But a lot of the other supporters, it took them some time before they came out and supported.
Yes.
And habang unti-unti silang lumalabas, makikita mo, unti-unti rin tumataas yung numero natin.
Yeah.
And to end up at number 2, I think was really unexpected. None of us really expected that, di ba? No one in the family, no one in the campaign team. I don't think our opponents also expected it, di ba? But to see the journey from 24 to 2, I think really puts a lot of burden, no, on you, firstly, but secondly, also a lot of gratitude, no?
Yes.
Kailangan ka magpasalamat sa napakaraming tao for this victory, di ba? And as I said many times, the best way to repay all the people who supported is to do the work.
Yes, I agree.
To focus on the
I
work,
agree.
focus on the reforms, focus on the promises.
Yes.
Kasi ang rami nating pinangako na gagawin sa edukasyon, no? So now I think it's time to just focus on the work and make sure that the reforms na kailangan ng tao matupad talaga.
Okay, and yeah, speaking of the work you're going to, the journey you're going to embark on, it's a lot of problems. You are the chairman of the Committee on Basic Education. There are so many problems in our education system now. There's an education crisis,
Yes.
as you'd say. Can you describe to us, parang what does that education crisis look like? How bad is it?
It's pretty bad, no? It's pretty bad. And ito, hindi lang to galing sa anecdotes or galing sa sarili nating observation. This is what the EDCOM report actually says.
Yes,
no?
okay.
So, the government came out with the EDCOM report. Year 2 was last January. Year 3 is coming out in a few months. So, if you look at year 2 of the EDCOM report, nakalista doon lahat ng mga problema natin sa edukasyon. And sabi ko nga in my privileged speech last week that this is a frank and brutal description of our educational system. We're down 165 classrooms. So our public school kids, nag-aaral yan 2 shifts, 3 shifts. Nagsisiksikan sa mga classroom or in a covered court, tabi-tabi yung mga klase doon, plywood lang yung nagbubukod sa kanila, di ba? Kids are going to school in waiting sheds. Children are not able to really study properly kasi kulang talaga tayo ng classrooms. Of course, the last administration was build, 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 yung pinaka one of their main taglines, but I think they failed to build any classrooms, no? Sobrang konti. So, classrooms pa lang, malaking problema na. Our connectivity, our schools still aren't connected. No, I passed the free Wi-Fi free internet access in Public Places Act way back in 2017.
Yes.
We've spent billions in in government budget here, government taxes, and hindi pa rin siya implemented.
man.
So we need to see our schools connected to the internet.
Okay.
It's 2025 after all, di ba?
Oo.
Yung curriculum, ang raming issues with the curriculum, our learners are basically 2 years behind.
Okay.
Yung grade 3 ay talagang grade 1 at yung grade 5 ay talagang grade 3. No? So, 2 years behind yung mga kabataan natin. And if we don't address that, they will eventually enter the workforce without the necessary wherewithal to have the right jobs. No? Kulang sila ng skills na kailangan para magkaroon ng mga trabaho na mas magbibigay ng magandang kinabukasan sa kanila. So, curriculum is a problem. Nutrition, a number of a number of school children are hungry. They're malnourished, they're stunted, and kapag hindi yan maagapan, nagiging permanent yung mga problema pagdating sa malnutrition.
Yes.
So, I also passed the masustansyang pagkain para sa Batang Pilipino Act way back in the first term.
Okay.
Hindi pa rin to fully implemented, so we need to implement this law. That's the feeding program law.
Okay.
Kailangan ma-implement rin yan. Our teachers need more support. Overworked and underpaid.
Okay.
Our textbooks aren't getting to the students. Kulang yung mga textbook ng mga estudyante natin or huli na sila pag dumating sa mga estudyante. And of course, yung trabaho. Our grade 12 graduates simply aren't employable.
Okay.
And the promise of K to 12 was that if you graduate grade 12, hindi ka nag-college pero nag-grade 12 ka, gumraduate ka, kaya mo na magtrabaho. And that's simply not the case right now. So, in the campaign, you remember, ano yung tagline natin?
Libreng kolehiyo, siguradong trabaho.
Exactly. So, yung siguradong trabaho part is both for college and the grade 12 students. We need to be sure na pag-graduate nila, grade 12 level or tertiary level, they're able to get the right jobs.
Okay.
Right now, that's not the case. Kaya may mga senators na nag-file ng abolition of grade 11 and grade 12 or may mga options to make it voluntary. All of these suggestions are coming out.
Okay.
But the root cause of that is because there's a failure in the grade 11, grade 12 in the senior high school system in the Philippines. And we also need to find a way to fix it, to reform it, to make sure that students who graduate will be able to find the right jobs. No?
Okay, I see. So you have a lot of problems were outlined. You also gave a privileged speech recently. The 7 points in your education agenda. Could you lay out what those?
Those were the
are?
7 basically.
Oh, nga, I noticed.
So that's the 7. But every point there, kumbaga, it will branch out into different sets of reforms. So for example, yung trabaho. The issue of trabaho is that kagraduate ako ng grade 12, hindi pa rin ako employable.
Okay.
So you have to look at the job market information.
Okay.
Is that utilized by the schools to create the courses needed for grade 11 and grade 12? Yung capacity ng mga schools to work directly with employers, for example. These are all the different reforms na kailangan gawin. On the other hand, some might say, let's just do away with grade 11, grade 12. Umabot ka ba sa grade 12?
Yes.
Umabot ka? Ako hindi na ako umabot eh. So, I had the old system, no?
Okay.
For 4 years of high school and all of that. So, kanina, we were talking about maybe one reform could be you allow colleges to just be 3 years. Or just be 2 years, no? That's the suggestion of Senator Gatchalian, who used to be chairman of education.
Okay.
So, when you look at these problems, it really begins with identifying ano ba yung problema.
Okay.
Diba? And if we agree, and again, thanks to the EDCOM report, may basehan na tayo ng mga problema, then we start to talk about what are the possible solutions. This is where different ideas may come in.
Okay.
And sometimes, contradictory ideas rin yan. And during the hearings, mapag-uusapan yan, different groups will speak out and you give everyone an opportunity to speak out, to share their position on the matter. But at the end of that process, magde-decide ka as the chairman of the committee, what reforms are we putting out to the floor for a vote?
Okay.
Diba? That's why the committee is very important. Kasi dyan mo masasabi ano ba yung solutions na gagawin ng gobyerno, gagawin ng bansa natin. And once it's on the floor, people will vote. And if they vote in the Senate, in the House, that becomes a law.
Okay.
And then that's where you see the reforms actually happen.
Okay.
So, may track record yung opisina namin for passing important measures when it comes to education.
Yes.
We hope to continue that track record and really tackle all of these major problems, from classrooms to the curriculum, to textbooks, to support for teachers, nutrition, for jobs.
Yes.
Lahat yan, matatakal natin yan over the next couple of years. And new problems might come up, or certain problems, hopefully, matulungan natin to get resolved.
Yes.
But it's going to be an ongoing thing. And while I'm the chairman of this committee, tuloy-tuloy yung push for reforms. No?
Okay, that's good. And
I guess I want to ask you then about yung employability and how to improve employability among students. Some people would argue that, I guess, you have a mix of the education system that may be in need of reform, but maybe also the private sector might have some role to play in this employability issue. Parang is there who's at fault in all of this, and if anything, how can that employability gap be addressed?
Yung who's at fault kasi, favorite topic yan ng mga politiko, di ba?
Oo nga.
Pero we're at that point kasi na, like, for example, sa classrooms, part of our investigation is trying to find out why government spends 2.5 to 4 million pesos per classroom. While LGUs and NGOs only spend less than 1 million pesos.
Wow, that's big.
Ang laki ng difference, di ba? Yan, pwede kong alamin yan who's at fault.
Okay. Yes.
Kasi klaro di ba? May kumikita, merong racket or whatever, aalamin natin yan. Pero pagdating dito sa mga ibang problema, it's less about who's at fault and maybe how can we move forward.
Yes.
No?
It's very systemic, the issue.
Yeah, and it's not easy. It's not like there's one person who made a mistake.
Yes.
I think, looking back, I think si K-12, maganda talaga yung intentions niya. Pero sa implementation, when the rubber hit the road, marami palang mahirap. No? For example, we're in a particular city, kunyari, Quezon City.
Okay.
Diba? Ito yung mga possible jobs. In a perfect situation, your senior high school offerings for grade 11, grade 12 should directly relate to the possible jobs that are available.
Okay.
Diba? Which means na yung instructors na kailangan mo for these possible jobs, available rin sila na maging teacher for senior high school.
Okay.
Diba? So the coordination is job market information, so employers, job market, instructors, senior high school offerings, teaching the students, di ba?
Okay.
In that perfect setup, your student would learn the skills needed. Hindi siya kailangan mag-college. They would learn the skills needed from the instructor who is skilled in this particular area.
Yes.
And they would learn that so they could work directly in the jobs that are available in the city.
Okay.
Ang nangyayari ngayon, hindi nagiging based on job market information yung course offerings.
Okay.
Or kung meron mang job market information, hirap yung mga schools to find the instructors to teach these particular courses. So, the question is, how can we move forward? And one of the laws that we filed, yung STEP program or STEP Act, School to Employment Program, basically creates the mechanism to have this job market information and gives the schools some leeway in terms of modifying the curriculum so that the students can be directly connected to the employers, no?
Oh, that's smart.
So, yung mechanism na yan, wala pa yan eh. So, by legislating that mechanism, we're hoping this issue can be improved, no? What I imagine is that the employers will directly work with the schools, and maybe for some aspects or for some subjects, kung talagang gusto ng school at ng employer na magkaroon ng magandang partnership, maybe the instructors comes from the companies. Sila na mismo magbibigay. Or yung OJT or yung work immersion, diretso na siya dun sa mga kumpanya para may hands-on training yung mga bata, di ba? So we have to bring this together. Kasi the whole idea of grade 11, grade 12 was about employability. So we have to bring the employers, the LGU, and the schools closer together para mas integrated siya.
I'm interested in the senior high school employability. Parang what industries are you looking at, or what kinds of jobs are you looking at for senior high school?
It depends on the area, di ba?
Okay.
So in the urban area, of course, some might say, BPO work, meron pa yan.
Okay.
Or recently we had a pilot, although SUC level to, hindi senior high school, with a firm that does parang they do the back-end work of a lot of financial institutions in the US.
Okay.
So, ang kailangan nila, accountancy students. Diba? So, we link them up to Batangas State University.
Okay.
Although, may accountancy track rin dapat ang senior high school, no?
Okay.
So, we could have linked them there as well, diba? But even that track, hirap yung mga schools to find the teachers to teach senior high school accountancy track. Yung nangyayari, and I just heard this from Senator Gatchalian earlier, kinukuha nila mga math teachers to teach accountancy.
Oh.
So, kind of related, but not exactly,
Not
di ba?
exactly,
So,
oo.
yung mga ganung detalye yung nagkakaroon ng mismatch di ba?
Oo.
So, we're hoping that through the course of the next few months, we're able to really look at the reforms needed para yung schools natin, at least at the grade 11, grade 12 level, will be able to bring our students closer to jobs.
That's a good way to approach this employability issue because frankly a lot of people end up having to invest in college education. In reality, yung job they'll end up in after, would have only required like a senior high school degree. Or if anything, parang some people, even when they get out of college, wala silang trabaho. So
Exactly.
sayang naman yung the work they put into.
Mahalaga yung siguradong
trabaho,
diba?
tama.
So,
Oo.
this job placement reform, so the job placement reform, the ability of schools to modify their curriculum, work with the employers, the LGU, that's both for the SUC level and the senior
And
high
senior high
school.
school.
Yes.
Oo.
Yun yung reform na tinutulak namin to address this issue.
Ayos. So, a lot of these reforms will require you to be working with different stakeholders,
Yes.
especially mga nasa gobyerno ngayon. I understand you spoke with the Secretary of Education,
Yes.
Secretary Angara. How was that meeting?
Oh, it was a good meeting. I visited him sa office niya. Of course, we were together in the 16th and 17th Congress,
Yes,
no?
oo.
So, maganda naman yung pag-uusap. He was fully supportive and they also gave some of their top priorities for the committee to tackle. So, we'll also be tackling some of the reforms that they want to push. No? So, for example, yung masustansyang pagkain para sa batang Pilipino,
okay.
which is basically our feeding program law, which I sponsored no, in the first term. They want to amend it para
Yes.
palakihin yung coverage, para mas maraming ages at kabataan yung matarget at pabigyan ng pagkain.
Okay.
So, of course, I said that we would support and we would hear that here at the Senate, no? So, I think we'll be able to work together very well.
Okay.
It's a big portfolio. DepEd, they say, is the most difficult and the most important department, di ba?
Yes.
So he needs all the help he can get. And from this side of the fence, which is basically the reforms, the oversight, and the budget, no?
Oo.
Kailangan talaga magtulungan dito.
Okay, and I understand you want to push for a 4% budget.
4% of GDP.
4% of GDP.
Yeah.
I see. Is that how do we get to that point?
Well, ano yan, so yung
Mo?
4%, it's actually 4 to 6% of GDP.
And that's that's an additional how many
We're
how many
computing
pesos?
it now kasi kakalabas rin lang nung budget So we're computing it now.
Okay.
But my guess is probably another 40 billion pesos
40 billion.
no?
Okay.
to hit the numbers.
Yes.
And yan yung prescribed ng United Nations pagdating sa proper investment in education.
Okay.
If you're giving or if you're providing an amount less than that, ibig sabihin you're under-investing in education. And we want to show that the investment is there.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, during the SONA, nagulat na lang ako, the President actually said that he wants education to be the focus of his administration for the next 3 years.
Yes.
So para sa akin, kung talagang ito yung focus, dapat yung budget nandyan. Di ba? You show it's the focus by making sure the budget is there.
Yes.
So I'm starting to get more support here in the Senate to really push this.
Yes.
And ngayon na mainit yung flood control, a lot of these projects which I think aren't really going to the right places. I'm hoping may mafi-free up ng mga budgets, no?
Yes.
Budgets can be slashed in items that maybe nawawala lang, nasasayang lang, nananakaw lang. And whatever is slashed, I hope that bulk of money really goes to education.
Yes.
And part of the work of the committee is also to make sure na yung perang nakalaan ay talaga nagagamit sa tama. So that's really one of the jobs that we have.
Yes.
So hopefully by slashing the budget on items which are not good for the people and good just for a few, we can put it in education kung saan mas marami makikinabang. And that's going to be one of the commitments of the committee, to really look at the budget as well.
Okay. Are there other reforms you foresee pushing in the sector of education?
We'll start with the the reforms in basic education.
Okay.
Of course, for tertiary, alam natin na in 2025 na slash yung budget ng free college, no? So we've also committed to work with the Committee on Finance to bring back that amount. Make sure that there are enough scholarships. Lumalaki yung mga scholarships sa mga kabataan. And our SUCs also have enough funds to increase their enrollment.
Okay.
Kasi in a lot of SUCs, ang taas-taas ng enrollment, but they can only accept maybe 25 to 50% of those that enroll and pass the tests, no?
Yes.
So mahalaga to give them more support so they can also increase the number of students in the SUCs. So marami pa yan. Education it's a big portfolio.
I can imagine.
So itong pinag-usapan nating 7 things, pang 6 years na yan eh. So totoo lang, di ba?
Oo nga eh.
But we're hoping by the end of the year, we can get 1 or 2 laws passed already.
Okay.
Maybe we're looking at maybe the classroom acceleration and maybe the e-textbook. Yung e-textbook, baka interesting sa'yo.
Oh yeah, oo.
Lumalabas sa EDCOM report na at halfway point of the year, less than half of the textbooks are actually delivered to the students.
Oh my.
Okay? So January na,
Okay.
kalahati pa lang ng mga textbook yung nadi-deliver. Of course, raises so many questions. Where are these textbooks? Why do they get there late? Etc. etc. Diba? Pero yung isang solusyon na naisip namin is that all the groups that are now engaging with DepEd, multi-billion or multi-million contracts to provide textbooks, they should allow their textbook to be online on the first day of school.
Okay.
And downloadable for free.
Oh.
Para kahit hindi man, of course, we have to fix and address the problem of delivery of textbooks. But while we're figuring that out, maganda sana kung unang araw pa lang ng school year, available na to be downloaded and to be
Yes.
seen by all of the students everywhere in the Philippines. So all
That's
the 23
nice.
million learners
That's nice.
on the first day of school, may set of textbooks na silang pwedeng mahanap online.
Yes.
And if we can work with the telcos to white label the data here, pwede nilang makita to na walang binabayaran. So ang na-imagine ko is, kung noon, naghihintay ka ng half a year bago dumating yung textbook, ngayon, on the first day of class,
Meron ka na.
kaya mo na siyang makita online. It's a simple reform, right?
Simple reform.
Sounds doable.
Yes.
I don't know who will object. Tignan natin kung sino mag-object. For me, that's a clear solution.
Yes.
Diba? Of course, we still have to work on the delivery,
Yes.
but at least you're able to provide some kind of solution right away.
Yes.
No? So, we're looking at, that's a small solution to a big problem. But the problem, kunyari, sa classrooms, no? If it's only DPWH building our classrooms, hindi talaga matatapos tong classrooms natin. If it's one agency building
Okay.
the classrooms.
Oo.
In fact, I think si Secretary Angara was quoted in saying, if we do it the pace that we're doing it, it'll take 50 years
Oh my.
before we solve this problem.
Okay.
So ang idea namin, and again, we're getting support from other senators here, is to put together a national fund where local government units, so your mayor, your governor, and maybe even NGOs with a track record in school building can actually participate in the national fund and build directly. Hindi na kailangan dumaan sa DPWH.
Okay.
And if DepEd can peg the price and peg the specs, mas mabilis kung sabay-sabay lahat gumagawa ng classroom. No?
Do you have to legislate that budget, the
Yes.
specs and like the prices?
The specs maybe not, kasi we'll allow
more
DepEd
flexibility.
to provide the standards.
Okay.
Yung price will also allow DepEd to specify. But I'm hoping, or I'm gonna push that it's gonna be less than the budget that DPWH
Yes.
is using now, the 2.5 million.
Okay.
And closer to the budget that the NGOs are using, which is about 1 million pesos. No? So,
Okay.
we'll try to lower the budget para mas maraming classrooms ang magagawa.
Oo.
Sabay-sabay gagawa lahat. And hopefully, we can see a real solution to our classroom crisis.
Okay, that's really exciting.
It's very
And-
exciting, honestly. Kasi ano rin siya eh, ang raming Pilipinong gustong tumulong. No? Raming Pilipino gustong mag-contribute. No?
Yes.
And now we're creating a system where any of us could actually contribute, di ba? So for example, kung yung batch mo, you want to donate a classroom, magtulong-tulong kayo to build up for a classroom and you bring it to an accredited NGO,
Okay.
they can build a classroom in your name. So nakatulong ka pa, di ba? You can directly participate in our education crisis and solve our education crisis. So na-imagine talaga namin na put together a huge fund, utilizing the budget better, at the same time allowing more groups to volunteer and to support.
Yes, it's very similar to yung bayanihan spirit from
Exactly.
2022.
Oo.
I mean, the same people that voted you in will be the same people to solve this crisis
Exactly.
also.
And that also goes all the way back to people power, di ba?
Yes.
At the end of the day, pag yung taong bayan yung gumagalaw, sabay-sabay gumagalaw, we can achieve even what seems to be impossible. Diba? So, kung noon, we fought against a dictatorship or we fought against very difficult electoral battles, ngayon, I would like to see if we can use that same people power, bayanihan spirit to solve real problems of our country. Diba? Real problems like education, health, employment, hunger.
Yes.
No? Yun yung superpower ng Pilipino eh. Pag nagtulungan tayo, pag nagbayanihan tayo, we can really achieve so much.
Yes.
So I'm hoping we can create more areas where people can come together.
Hello everybody. So I know we're taking a bit of a break here, but I kind of need your help. Kakastart ko lang ng podcast, ng Hey Eiyo podcast, and I am continuing to learn more about becoming a podcaster, looking for guests, film editing and all that. But I also want to get to know you guys, yung aking audience. So if you guys have the time, hopefully you guys can answer my survey that I posted down below in the description. And through that survey, you will help me understand you guys more. I'll be able to understand what you guys like, what you guys want to listen to, and many other things. Now, if you answer this survey, your GCash number will be posted on our database, and we will be choosing one winner of 2,000 pesos. So sana sagutin nyo naman, guys. Okay, thank you. Let's go back to the episode.
I want to ask you about another hot topic now. Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So, since you're the secretary, the chairman of basic education, I want to ask about your stand on where AI belongs in like our education system. Should it be banned?
No, it
should
should
be allowed.
It shouldn't be banned. It's a tool.
It's a tool.
No, it's a
okay.
tool. Parang calculator lang yan, di ba? Kumbaga, tinuturo sa'yo how to do the math. Pero
Okay.
di naman bawal gumamit ng calculator in real
Yes.
life, di ba?
Oo.
And AI, now that it's in our phones, is gonna be like our calculator in the future. Kumbaga, even now, people rely on it as a tool. But, much like the calculator, kailangan marunong ka pa rin mag-addition, mag-division, mag-subtraction at multiplication.
Yeah.
So you have to know the basics. You have to have the foundation, the right foundation, so you can use this tool. Kung masyado kang dependent on AI for anything and everything, and you don't have that foundation, mahihirapan ka rin moving forward. Or worse, it's the AI already that's dictating on you and not the other way around. Ikaw na yung pinaprompt ng AI, hindi na ikaw yung nagpa-prompt sa AI, di ba? So, we have to teach the basics. We have to teach people how to learn. We have to have critical thinking. Ito yung mga basics of education, di ba?
Yes.
While at the same time, utilizing all the tools at our disposal.
Okay.
And that's the way I see it now, no? You can't ban it. It's already part of our telephones.
Yes.
Iba pa nga yung computer eh. Ngayon, telephone na eh.
Oo nga eh.
So it's even closer. It's in your pocket, literally, di ba? So, I think for our educational system, kailangan they should get their heads around it that it's here to stay. And we should learn how to use it best. But for me, you can use it best if you have the basics.
Okay.
If you know the basics. Kung kaya mo yung basics of reading, comprehension, mathematics, if you have those basics, then you can use any tool to support you in any of your endeavors.
So it's really a supplementary. AI plays a supplementary role in
It should. Ang problema kasi dyan, kapag siya na yung main.
Oo nga eh.
Diba? Kasi kaya mong, you could survive eh, na yun yung main mo, di ba? But you're doing yourself a disservice. Kasi pag masyado kang nakasandal doon, you'll eventually gagraduate ka nga, wala ka namang natutunan. Parang sinayang mo lang yung oras mo, sinayang mo yung pera mo.
Yeah.
Diba? You have to end your educational journey with having learned something. And if you've learned something, you can utilize all these tools better also.
Another tool or another thing that is very accessible in our pockets now is our online gambling sites.
Yeah.
What is your stand on online gambling?
We're gonna ban it here in the Senate.
Okay.
Nag-privilege speech si Senator Zubiri about this last week.
Okay.
And a number of us stood up to support him.
Okay.
So we will move to ban it outright. But at the end of the day, I think it'll be up to the president. Kasi whatever law we pass, he has to sign it. And right now, marami ng panawagan from the senators, from the church, from different groups to ban it, and he can ban it if he wanted to. No? Gaya ng
yes.
Pogo. Diba, yung Pogo, in one of the SONA, in-announce niya na binana niya yung Pogo, and within a few months, the Pogo was banned, no? And many left the country. In the same way, he can instruct PAGCOR right now to ban online gambling. But if it will take a law before we get there, a number of us will support that law, and he will still have to sign it at the end of the day. No?
Okay. You have so many items on your agenda, and that's going to require a lot of cooperation with different stakeholders and government officials and so forth. Yung narinig ko about you is you're very collaborative, you're very cooperative with different stakeholders. But how are you able to like build and maintain all these relationships, these good working relationships?
Ano yan? Put the work first. Treat people with respect. Kasi if you treat people with respect, they'll treat you with respect. Diba? Understand that we can't agree on everything. In fact, there will, like, mamaya is gonna be the vote on the impeachment. So that's gonna be a clear division politically, probably. But understand that that's really gonna happen. Kasi magkaiba tayo ng pananaw, di ba?
Yes.
Pero may mga bagay rin na pwede natin pagtulungan. And during the campaign, many people asked na, ano yung uunahin mo? Syempre, ang uunahin mo syempre yung kailangan ng tao.
Yes.
And the people require their leaders to set everything aside and work for them. Di ba? Kung yun yung North Star mo, na at the end of the day, nandito tayo para mag-deliver ng mga serbisyo, para magbigay ng mga reforma, para gawin yung kailangan para sa mga kababayan natin. Then, all these other things become secondary. So, ako, ganun lang. Treat everybody with respect. Understand that you will really disagree on certain issues.
Yes.
But see the 90% of the other issues as an opportunity to work together. It's not that easy, pero the best laws I've passed, napasa ko dahil ganun yung pananaw ko.
Oh, that's nice.
Kumbaga, hindi mabubuo yung free college law kung hindi ka collaborative.
Yes.
Kung di mo napagsama yung iba't ibang partido, yung Kongreso at Senado, yung private at public sector.
Yes.
Kung di mo kung masyadong nakakoncentrate ka lang sa grupo mo, I wouldn't have been able to pass these important reforms. At kung ngayon, gusto pa rin natin magpasa ng mga reforma, mahalaga na you're able to really be expansive and inclusive at the same time. No?
Okay. I'm gonna go on a bit of a lighter note now. What is the day in the life of Senator Bam Aquino look like?
Now? Traffic. Seriously. Medyo nakakapanibago itong intensity ng traffic in 2025 compared to 2013 to 2019. The intensity is much, much worse.
Okay.
No? So, Monday to Wednesday kasi, you're expected to be here kasi session time yan, right? And then Thursday, I'm usually outside of Metro Manila or doing meetings. First thing in the morning, you make your coffee, and because of the traffic, kailangan paalis ka na. These past few days, my kids are still asleep. Tulog pa rin sila when I leave.
Kasi summer. Summer yun, summer now.
Summer, but also because you have to leave early.
Okay.
Diba? You get here, and sometimes you just wanna go over the speeches or think about your laws, pero ang daming bisita. Like, di ako prepared. Super daming bisita sa opisina.
Like me today.
Yeah, no, but maraming unannounced.
Unannounced?
Because,
wow.
Okay, so what I learned from Jesse Robredo. Jesse Robredo, when he was DILG secretary, open door siya.
Okay.
Kahit sinong pupunta, kikitain niya.
Okay.
So, sometimes kasi may mga magbabiyahe from outside of Manila, pupunta, tapos gusto siya makita, kahit 5 to 10 minutes lang, he'll always have time for everybody.
Oh, that's nice.
And sabi ko, if given a chance again to serve, I want to also have that mentality na lahat ng pupunta dito, kikitain ko kahit 5 minutes lang. Diba? Kaya mahirap pala yun. Mahirap pala siya. Pero we're still doing it. Okay? So, ang raming bisita lagi. You go to session. And then, when session adjourns, you leave. And again, 2 hours traffic siya pabalik.
Oh
no?
my.
So, we're figuring something out, how to handle that. But taking out the traffic side, I'm actually quite excited. No, we're excited. I think people here in the team are very excited. They want to do the work. They want to pass these reforms. At nakikita nila na merong role to play. We have a role to play in improving the country. May papel kami in improving the country. And right now, it's focusing on this committee and making sure these reforms are done.
Oh, that's good to hear. I want to ask you then about your, I guess, life outside of the job, outside of work. So what do your weekends look like?
Tulog ako, pare. No, the first week kasi SONA was last week, di ba? So that was technically the first week of session. Oh man, yung weekend, talagang parang di ako gumagalaw sa kamang ganyan. Na-shock yung katawan ko sa stress at pagod, no? But nag-enjoy ako, ah. I mean, di ako nega, like nag-enjoy ako.
Naman.
It was just physically and mentally really draining. That first week of session.
Okay.
Like it makes campaigning seem more relaxed and more fun. Can you think? Sipin mo yun, ha?
Wow.
Sipin mo yun, ha? Gano'ng kahirap yung kampanya natin.
Oo nga eh.
Parang mas madali siya than last week. I think lahat ng tao dito will agree. It was really, really...
Wow.
Pero ano don't get me wrong masaya.
Yes, I can
Pero
imagine.
talagang parang yung brain mo, yung puso mo, yung katawan mo, parang talagang kinuha lahat ng energy nung weekend. So, last Sunday, talagang aside from going to church, hindi talaga ako umalis ng bahay. Kasi hindi ako gumagalaw. Nakaganon lang ako kasi it was really stressful. But, I'm sure as the months go on, mas masasanay rin tayo dito sa bagong routines and everything. But we're very excited. Very, very excited about where we are and what we can do.
Oo naman. How do you spend time with your family?
Wala na.
With the kid?
Itong last few weeks talaga I haven't seen them a lot. So mag-adjust pa yan.
Later on, parang it'll be...
Medyo lahat bago pa eh. All the systems are new. Like for example, so coming from last week na ang raming bumibisita, di ba? So we're now trying to put like 1 hour na all the visitors. Kasi if it's throughout the whole day, parang hindi ka na makagawa ng batas, di ba? Nandito ko para gumawa ng batas. So we're trying to put new systems to make it more, to make it easier to be able to function the whole day rin. No?
Okay. I'm gonna do a bit of a fast talk for you. So, unless I ask...
Mahina ako dyan, mahina.
But I don't know, chill lang to. Pero if, unless I ask you why, no need to expound. Okay. First thing you do when you wake up?
Kape.
Black coffee? Or do you put milk? Sugar?
Konting cream and a Splenda or equal.
Splenda, okay. Are you addicted to TikTok?
No.
What are you addicted to?
Kape. Lazada. Kape. Lazada. Ano ba?
Lazada.
Okay, yes. These days, alam mo, bago kasi yung routine eh. So time for new things to distract me again, I guess.
Okay, I see. What's your favorite gaming console?
Ano ako ngayon eh. Mas PC ako ngayon eh.
PC? What's your favorite PC game now?
Now, Metaphori Fantagio.
Ooh, what
Deep cut yan, RPG yan.
What's the vibe? Parang
it's actually medyo political. The game's a little political, but in a fantasy setting. One of the best games in the last few years.
Okay. Ano yung favorite go-to karaoke song mo?
Marami. Bon Jovi.
Sample nga.
No.
I'm just kidding. Main character or supporting role?
Main character.
Favorite NBA team?
It used to be Dallas and Luka. For a long time.
Sino na?
Well, kasi Luka fan talaga ako eh.
Okay.
So begrudgingly,
So Lakers.
Lakers Nation na po ako. Pero Luka pa rin.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, favorite NBA player. Favorite Ateneo player of all time. I ask Ateneo because alam ko favorite team yung Ateneo.
Sige, syempre ka-time ka, era ko. Older than me, pero favorite namin noon, si Richie Tixon.
Okay.
Kaya alam mo yun? Hindi? He was, parang siyang Steph Curry of Ateneo bago na uso si Steph Curry.
Ano yung pinaka-strength niya? Like, three-pointers talaga? Who's your, sorry, Tita Tim, pero who's your childhood crush?
Yung guidance counselor namin.
Oh my gosh!
She knows who she is.
Favorite movie or TV show franchise?
Franchise. Marami. Marvel, Star Wars, Star Trek. I'm a fanboy. I like Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
I would
Rings.
even say Lord of the Rings. Maybe yun na siguro yung top ko.
Sino yung
And
favorite?
Star Wars.
Sino yung favorite Lord of the Rings character mo?
Aragorn.
Why? What about Aragorn?
Wala. Sa lahat sa kanila, favorite ko si Aragorn.
Okay.
Yeah. More than the Hobbits, more than Gandalf, more than Legolas.
What is your guilty pleasure movie?
A
TV
movie. Guilty pleasure, meaning walang may gusto, nobody likes this movie.
Parang nakahiya sabihin.
Any Tito Vic and Joey movie. Favorite ko.
Colleague mo pa dito.
Oh, of course.
What's one food you never say no to?
Japanese food.
Japanese food. Sashimi. Are you a sashimi
Lahat.
guy? Ramen.
Basta Japanese
food. Big brain or big heart?
Nung bata ako, I would have said big brain, pero habang tumatanda ako, baka big heart na.
What is your life mantra?
Life mantra, do your best and God will do the rest. But diba? But it's true.
I agree naman eh.
Oh, totoo
Tama
eh.
naman.
That's why it's a cliche because
Oo.
it's real and it's always been there.
Yes. If you were to have dinner with one person, either dead or alive, who would that be and why?
Maybe si Tito Ninoy. Kasi I never actually spoke to him. I was a baby when he was exiled in the States. I was only 3. And of course, when he came home, I was 6. He was shot, diba? So I never actually had any time to talk to him. So interesting to talk to Tito Ninoy.
Oh, that would be really fun. That would be a fun
Tayong tatlo.
conversation.
Usap tayong tatlo.
Oo nga. Okay, so I have a few more questions here for you. Medyo personal to.
Okay.
But a lot of people, I guess, you mentioned earlier, a lot of people were devastated when you did not win in 2019. How did you take that loss, and what were some of those lessons you took with you?
Well, ano nga ba? Alam mo kasi I look at 2019 now from the lens of 2022 and 2025. I don't think I would have been a good campaign manager for Vice President Lenny if I won in 2019. I think yung loss in 2019 and being out of politics, parang fresh yung ideas ko for 2022. And even though we didn't make it, ang rami natin nakitang gains, no? People really came out, the volunteerism was talagang tremendous, and I don't think I could have done what I did or had that fresh spirit in 2022 if I didn't lose in 2019. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then 2022 naman, kung di ko rin nakita yung paglabas ng mga tao, I don't think the 2025 run would have been like this. Kasi we built 2025 on the gains of 2022. So I think right now talagang you look at everything as part of one continuum talaga.
Okay. A lot of young people are looking to make a dent in their respective fields. Mga business, entrepreneurship, public service, etc. And I'd say you're one person that has already made a big dent. And you're so young pa. You're how
Di
old?
na, 48 na, hindi na.
Still young. My last question is, how does one become a change maker like yourself? Like, if you were to give practical advice to these aspiring change makers, what would you tell them?
Keep on doing it. Just keep on doing it. Don't if what you're doing, the area that you're working in is something that really inspires you, talagang gusto mo talaga yang gawin, or you feel you're contributing, di ba? You feel you're able to help other people, it puts a smile on your face, you're excited to do it, gawin mo lang. Just keep on doing it. Kasi the more that you do it, habang ginagawa mo, nahahasa ka eh. You get better at it, di ba? Don't be disheartened. It's not always gonna be a safe and easygoing route. Sometimes matatalo ka, or sometimes your heart will get broken, but you get back up and you keep on doing it. And as you keep on doing it, eventually makikita mo na one is you're getting better at it, And two, if you're really able to help other people with what you're doing, you'll find fulfillment as well. No? So, ako, that's it. Ganun lang kasimple. Kung ano man yan, keep on doing it. Don't stop. Keep on pushing and pushing until you get really, really good at it. No?
Thank you, Tito.
Thank you. Salamat. Tito.
Thank you so much for that. Beautiful.
Bisitahin ko siya sa
words.
Spain. I'll visit him in Spain.
Yes, I'm gonna take note of that.
Hey there, thanks for listening to the Hey Eiyo podcast. If you enjoyed, don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your other favorite podcast apps.